Alert Indian Defence Forces have thwarted a major infiltration attempt along the India-Bangladesh border in West Bengal. The incident raises further fears of extremist elements in Bangladesh attempting to destabilize India's Siliguri Corridor or the Chicken's Neck with the help of Pakistan's intelligence agency, the ISI. Meanwhile, reports are emerging how a Bangladeshi general backed by Pakistani ISI has been planning a coup to take control of the South Asian country. Firstly, the latest incident occurred on the night of March 7th near the Khalpara village in the district of Darjeeling. Details are emerging as an alert Indian border security force caught a group of 15 to 20 Bangladeshi smugglers well inside Indian territory. Now, it's not clear how such a large group of 15 to 20 Bangladeshi smugglers sneaked into India through the heavily guarded border. The miscreants were joined by people from Indian side. Their aim was to smuggle cattle and contraband. The BSF had received intel about this operation and confronted the Bangladeshi smugglers, asking them to surrender. However, reports suggest the smugglers resorted to violence, which forced the Indian troops to fire non-lethal ammunition as well as stun grenades in self-defense to disperse the attackers who were trying to snatch the weapons of a Jawan. Some of the smugglers took advantage of the dense fog and escaped. However, one of them was killed by the BSF and his body was later handed over to border guards Bangladesh in a flag meeting. This attack by Bangladeshi infiltrators also caused injuries to an Indian BSF Jawan who was rushed to the hospital, according to a statement, quote, "The intruders allegedly engaged in smuggling activities in coordination with Indian miscreants. They were intercepted by a patrolling team of the Border Security Force. Upon being cautioned, the miscreants launched a violent attack on the BSF personnel, resulting in serious injuries to one BSF Jawan." Unquote. After scanning the area, the BSF personnel also found 2 sacks containing 787 bottles of fentanyl and sharp-edged weapons. The BSF has tightened its noose against Bangladeshi infiltrators by racking up deployment, constructing border fencing, installing floodlights, using boats and also setting up border outposts for the surveillance of the riverine front. The steps have been taken after the BSF seized contraband items worth 461 crore rupees in 2024 while foiling smuggling attempts along the Indo-Bangladesh border, which is the highest in a decade. Just a few days ago, the BSF had in fact foiled another infiltration attempt by Bangladeshi infiltrators along the border with the state of Tripura. The BSF has intensified operations after the recent warning by Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi of Pakistan's ISI agency's presence in Bangladesh and raising the possibility of the ISI sending extremists into India via Bangladesh, just like in Kashmir. Their ultimate goal could be the Siliguri Corridor, a narrow piece of land which connects mainland India to its northeastern states. Just last month, ISI Chief Lieutenant General Asim Malik visited Dhaka, marking the first time in decades that the head of Pakistan's intelligence agency traveled to Bangladesh. A 4-member Pakistani ISI team later paid a secret visit to Rangpur, which lies only 130 kilometers away from India's Chicken's Neck, a move that raised further concerns in the Indian security establishment. The visit was specially aimed at fostering an information-sharing network between the intelligence agencies of both these countries, which could cause disruptions in India through cross-border subversive activities, or by sharing intel with Islamabad's puppet master, which is China. Pakistan has been trying to increase its presence in Bangladesh ever since the ouster of the democratically elected Sheikh Hasina government. Military relations leapt forward when Bangladesh started ordering increasing amounts of arms and ammunition from Islamabad. Meanwhile, a Bangladeshi military panel traveled to Pakistan for a meeting with Pakistan Army Chief General Munir. Now, while there had been previous concerns of the US deep state playing a role in Hasina's ouster, such claims have been rubbished by the new US President Donald Trump. In a public statement, Donald Trump claimed he had left the Bangladesh situation to be dealt with by Quad ally India and especially Prime Minister Modi. Trump asserted, quote, "There was no role for our deep state. This is something that the Prime Minister has been working on for a long time, for hundreds of years. Frankly, I have been reading about it. I will leave Bangladesh to the Prime Minister," unquote. What's more, according to reports, Bangladesh's Yunus has failed to secure high-level communication with the Donald Trump administration, unlike the previous Biden administration. This has added to Bangladesh's growing frustration and a change in strategy. Reports suggest Yunus is now seeking to mend ties with Indian Prime Minister Modi. This could happen in Bangkok during the BIMSTEC summit to be held in April. Moreover, Bangladesh's interim government's foreign affairs advisor Tauhid Hussain openly sought India's backing to revive the SAARC during a meeting with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar at the sidelines of the multilateral conference in Muscat, Oman. Remember, the same Yunus had earlier called for unity against India in an all-party meeting held just on the 4th of December 2024. Now he has taken a U-turn on his own statement. In an interview with the BBC, Bangladesh interim government head Muhammad Yunus downplayed deteriorating relations with larger neighbor India. He stated, quote, "There is no way Bangladesh-India relations cannot be good. Our ties are close and our mutual dependence is high. However, some conflicts have arisen and I have described them as clouds that appeared in the middle," unquote. A country marred by political instability and turmoil also continues to grapple with lawlessness, violence, and a tanking economy. Extremist mobs seem to feel empowered now and continue to flout the law as Islamic fundamentalism is on a dramatic rise in the country, with banned Islamist organizations like the HUT gaining clout. Such mobs even attacked an Air Force base in Bangladesh just a few days ago. According to political experts, Yunus lacks popular support and has also failed to curb such violence and bloodshed. The economic crisis is also touching a dangerously high level, with hundreds of factories shutting down due to this violence, drying up investment, declining credit volume, and thus shrinking employment ever since Hasina's ouster. Now, in an unprecedented public statement, Bangladesh's own army chief, Waqar-uz-Zaman, has cautioned that the independence and sovereignty of Bangladesh will be jeopardized if the nation doesn't work towards unity and is mired by internal power struggles. Blaming infighting and mudslinging, the army chief general said that the ongoing unrest was manufactured by us after the uprising led to the ouster of the democratically elected government last year. Now, the possibility of another military coup is threatening Bangladesh after a senior Bangladeshi military official with close ties to Pakistan has been put under surveillance for allegedly making moves to stage a coup against the current military leadership in Bangladesh. According to sources, the Bangladesh Army chief flagged meetings held in the first 2 months of 2025 between Lieutenant General Faizur Rahman, which he held with Jamaat leaders and Pakistani diplomats, aimed at garnering support for the alleged coup. Backed by anti-India and anti-West radical Jamaat, the Lieutenant General Rahman's plot, however, was discovered by the current army chief, who has now called for elections to be held before the end of the current year to return power to a democratically elected government. But have your say, is Bangladesh sliding towards extremism? India's defense industry makes a huge leap, with the DRDO conducting the successful test of the on-board oxygen generating system based integrated life support system for the Tejas fighter aircraft. This state-of-the-art system obviates the use of large oxygen cylinders as it generates air to breathe in real time, providing safety for pilots up to an altitude of 50,000 feet. With 90% indigenous content, the integrated life support system increases endurance levels during high G maneuvers. The system, which has been produced by Larsen & Toubro, is a milestone in India's aerospace independence. Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.